10 versions of a lower third, different text, different colors, different layouts. But in my project panel there's only one composition. How? Most After Effects users don't even know this feature exists, and the one who do, forget about it. If you're working with templates, versioning, or any kind of repeatable motion graphics, this will change the way you work. Before we get to the most overlooked feature, we need to understand this panel right here, Essential Graphics. This panel lets you pull any property from any layer or effect into one centralized control hub. Source text, colors, sliders, checkboxes, anything. Click solo supported properties and it reveals everything in your comp that can be pulled out. And here's something few people know. You can pull properties from nested comps. A comp inside a comp inside a comp, all controllable from one place. Like Inception but for After Effects. Compception. This is powerful for 3 reasons. First, templates. If you're building a file for your team or a client, you do not want them digging through 40 layers just to change a color. Essential Graphics narrows down the controls to exactly what they need. Nothing more, nothing less. Second, Mogurts. You export the comp as a motion graphics template and every property you pulled out becomes controllable directly in Premiere Pro. We have a full tutorial on Mogurts, I'll link it above. So, what's the third one? Ha! That's the one we need. Watch what happens when I drop the lower third, the one I set up with Essential Graphics, into a new composition. Everything I pulled, text, colors, controls, now shows up as essential properties in the Properties panel and on the timeline. I change the text here, content updates. I swap the image, it updates. I change the color updates. But here's the thing, if I go back into the original comp, nothing changed.
What?
I know. I made the same face when I first saw it. The original is untouched. Every instance on my timeline is completely independent. So if I duplicate this lower third 10 times, I now have 10 different versions, different text, different colors, different settings, and in my entire project there's still only one composition. If something is keyframed in the original comp, I can move and change those keyframes through essential properties without touching the original. And at any point I can pull the current values back to the original comp or push the original's values out to all instances. This alone has saved me dozens of hours on projects with repeating elements. Lower thirds, title cards, intros, outros, anything that shows up more than once but needs to look different each time. Here are a few ways I actually use essential properties to get even more out of this. First, drop-down menus and checkboxes combined with if-else expressions. This lower third, for example, I can choose if I want a sub-headline, the logo, both, or neither. Same comp, completely different output depending on what I select. If you watch my video on building systems in After Effects, this is where that whole approach comes together. Essential properties are the front end, expressions are the back end. Second, color control layers. If I have multiple layers sharing the same color, I don't pull each one into Essential Graphics individually. Instead, I add a null or an adjustment layer, put a color control effect on it, connect all the matching colors to that one control, and then pull the color control into Essential Graphics. One color picker every layer updates. And third, sometimes even essential properties hit a wall. If you need 100 versions of the whole video, not just the lower third, but changing titles, swapping footage, adjusting colors across every comp, doing that manually is still going to eat your weekend. That's exactly what I use Plainly for. You upload the entire project file, connect a spreadsheet or an API, and it renders every version in the cloud. No breaking your computer with 10-hour renders. If you want to see Plainly in action, there's a full playlist of video automation workflows on this channel, it will appear on the screen. The project file I used is linked below, it's free, grab it, test it out, and let me know how much easier that is.